2018 Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open, the September event. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by Tournament Director Joe Englekes, and now we're finally underway with our traditional 5-man stepladder with Dwayne Kilts coming out of the elimination bracket to take on our 4-seed Brandon Biondo. Joe, it's nice to have you here in the booth with me for the first time this weekend.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to be here.
Your event this weekend had 163 entries, and I know that it didn't sell out, but 163 entries is still a magnificent job on your part with all these events that you've ran. So congratulations on another successful event. And which number is this? Is this number 16?
This is 14.
14.
14.
14.
Yep. So, yeah, it's a little disappointing we didn't have a little higher number as far as entries, but you know, that's 163 still okay, I guess.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, there's a lot of tournaments would die to have that kind of numbers, but it's a little bit disappointing to put all the time and effort and work into getting the sponsors lined up and doing all that stuff to end up not quite filling. So,
well, you and I share that in common. We both like to have large fields and as big as we can. And you've got a diverse crew here in the top 5. Brandon Biondo, we just saw go through the face for a big nasty split here, but he's bowled extremely well this weekend. And then you've got Tom Hess up in the next match, and then you got Nick Pate, who won the last event, looking to go back to back. And then Shea Bittenbender, who's been the class of the field today, he just absolutely just took off. He went from 12th to 1st today and never looked back.
Right. Yeah, it's been an interesting pattern that we played on this weekend for sure. And it doesn't surprise me that we have a bunch of guys that are able to move the ball from deep inside on the lane, because that seemed to be by far and away the best look. Although we didn't see anybody out here lofting very much.
No.
So
a lot of volume. You run a lot of volume. 29 mils.
Yep. Yeah, when I don't get too much involved in the actual pattern, since I like to bowl these events, so I don't want to have a lot of input. But when I talk with Rich Amy, the proprietor here, we sit down and he understands that he has a very hooky surface here at Maple Lanes, and so we pretty much decided that typically we'll go with a longer pattern with higher volume anytime the tournament's here, and when we go over to the other center at Cadillac XBC, we go with a little bit shorter pattern with a little lighter volume, which gives a nice diverse look for the guys to bowl on for the 2 tournaments.
Yeah, you do a nice job with that. Patterns here are always very fair. A lot of times they're asymmetrical too, and a lot of people would say, well, you potentially run the risk of having a lefty or a righty, advantage. But this week being a little asymmetrical, I think actually let the lefties somewhat compete. And if it would have been symmetrical, they may have been locked out. So it was a nice pattern.
The out on the right side was definitely not in place. So I think we would have locked out a lot of lefties if it would have been symmetrical. So
we did see Tommy T-Cats have some success playing outside.
Yeah,
he was splitting boards today.
Right. Yeah, I know when we had the practice session, I tried a few shots out there myself, and if you split the board, you could get enough reaction to make it work. But a one board miss either direction was pretty ugly.
So Brandon Biondo here, a little bit all over the place. He's been sitting for a while. Kilts has been bowling, and Kilts putting it to him here with the first 3.
Yeah, Dwayne's looking pretty confident. He stepped up there in the 10th, knowing he needed that strike in the last match. He didn't take any time at all. He just stepped up on the approach and let her rip. Got a little break on the rolling the 10 out, but he threw the ball well, and that's all you can ask for.
Let's talk about your title sponsors. You got Fusion Realtors and Community First National Bank. Fusion Realtors, wasn't it you and Zach Bajorner had a conversation, and he said, let's bring a big tournament to Waterloo, Iowa, and his company got involved?
Yeah, it actually started with the proprietor here at Maple Lanes, Bruce Strom, back in the day before he sold. along with Jim Johnson, who was the president of the Waterloo, actually Greater Cedar Valley Bowling Association at the time, and we sat down first, and then Zach got involved because he had mentioned in the past that he was looking to be involved in a high-profile type tournament. So between the four of us, we kind of came up with the idea, and the first one, we actually only had 2 squads here at Maple. We limited it to 128 bowlers, and I had a waiting list of about 25. So we decided, well, let's do something a little different. We added a second tournament and a third squad, and it kind of took off from there. We got the local Convention and Visitors Bureau involved here from Waterloo, and while their support has kind of leveled off over the last 3 or 4 years, they certainly helped build the foundation, and along the way we grabbed a couple of additional sponsors and helped build the tournament that way.
First tournament champion was Matt Mcneil.
That is correct. He also pointed out to me that he is the only left-handed tournament champion to date, and we had a little chuckle about that. But he made the cut this weekend, although I don't think he had a great look. He fought like I did today, real hard to try to stay about even, and I told him that we're going to try probably to look at making it a little more fair maybe on the left side, although I thought this pattern was, at least they weren't shut out on the left side.
Correct. You had one make the final.
We had one make the finals and bowled very well the first 2 matches. Actually bowled well the third match. It just got beat by a few pins. So, and there was a number. I think we had 3 or 4 left-handers that made the cut, so it wasn't terrible.
We've got ourselves a decent match here. Dwayne Kilts with a slight lead. Ooh, and right there, just brought it right back.
Yeah, it's going to tighten things up a little bit. Although Brandon's still down 20 pins or so. Brandon made the finals the year that his dad won the tournament, and they bowled against each other in one of the matches. That was very interesting. Very interesting.
Great bowling family, the
Yes,
Biondos.
very much so, and they can play. They can play.
So now suddenly a 15-pin match.
Yep. Got real interesting real quick there with that 4-9.
I want to thank everybody that's been watching on Facebook. We will be archiving this on YouTube, so you can go back and re-watch it if you like. It's been kind of a weird weekend with how we've been streaming.
That was a big shot to come back off that 4-9. Looks like Dwayne has to finish on the lane he's not real fond of. Could come into play. Oh, there's a nice shot.
Let's take a look at it one more time. I got my replay working here. Just about as good as you can throw it right there for Brandon Biondo.
That was pure.
Take a look at the scoreboard.
Ooh.
Sometimes when you get your angles just too steep going left to right, the ball doesn't pick up. You throw it past the break, but if you cut it just a little bit short, that ball is not even getting to the pocket. It's going to go right through the face.
Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction most of the day today. Board right was a bucket, and a board left was through the face every time. Ooh.
Wrapped in for Dwayne Kilts. Don't forget the winner of this match is going to go on to take on Tom Hess. Pate is your 2 seed, and top seed is Shea Bittenbender, who's actually sitting just right off to the right of the desk of us here.
Cool. Thought we were going to have to catch that one there first.
It came flying out.
Yeah, my son threw one of those today, and it almost flew over the rake. I had never seen one do that. It came shooting out of there. Ooh, through the face.
Comes in high for the 610. So Kilts now can max out at 197. And with a spare here, he cannot be shut out. Brandon Biondo can strike out for 194. So he covers it up, and he's just going to sit down and see what Brandon Biondo can do here.
Must be a tough pair.
Yeah, compared to what we just saw,
Mm-hmm.
down on the low end, we had much higher scoring pace. Needs a strike here.
Ooh, ooh.
Okay, they just keep falling.
At least he broke it up. Yeah, that's a little unusual because typically the middle of the house is the pretty high scoring in this center as far as ball reaction being a little more consistent. The low end's pretty hooky and the high end's a little tighter down lane a lot of times. Ooh. There's that one board miss to the right. Well, match over.
So Dwayne Kilts is going to advance to take on Tom Hess. Coming up in our next match, Brandon Biondo is going to finish in the 5th position. What does he get for that, Joe?
Oh, I gotta check before I do this.
I think it's either 1,000 or 1,100.
All right, we're going to get a prize list up here in a minute. Tournament with a $170 entry. What do you got?
$1,100.
$1,100. Brandon Biondo. Final score, 159 for Brandon Biondo, and as soon as the stop sign guy gets off the screen, I can tell you the final number here. $194 for Dwayne Kilts. We'll be back in just a minute with the next match happening over on lanes 13 and 14. It'll be Tom Hess versus Dwayne Kilts. Okay, moving right along here in the finals. Mike Flanagan here with Joe Englekes, tournament director, and we now have Dwayne Kilts taking on Tom Hess here in our step ladder. Kilts makes a pretty good shot to start there, Joe.
Going. Oh.
You thought it was going to go, huh?
I did.
I didn't even see the pin coming over.
Oh, yeah. Usually in this house, you hit it that hard, it's going.
So Kilts makes it out of the bracket. He's the number 6 seed advancing. Just defeated Brandon Biondo pretty easily. And now he's taking on Tom Hess. And you were watching Hess pretty close there, Joe. Hess was lost on one of the lanes.
Yeah, lane 14. He does not have a very good look. He missed the head pin twice with his first 2 shadow balls. He switched balls and went Brooklyn. So we'll see. Maybe he'll figure it out. That was a pretty good guess.
That was very good.
Great shot.
Take a look at it one more time. Tom coming right at you.
Ooh, I like it. And he's going to use that same ball in the other lane, too. So maybe he found something.
Tom Hess led yesterday. He bowled in the A squad. Was 224 over, led by over 50 pins. Came in today. Didn't have a great morning. Spent a lot of time in the booth, though, with me. Both squads yesterday, a little bit during the bracket play earlier. Tom really helps us out, offering his commentary. Really appreciate that. Waiting in the wings, the number 2 seed is Nick Payton. For the first time ever, we could have somebody possibly go back-to-back with Nick Pate.
That would be a first.
But our top seed is Shea Bittenbender. He went from 12th to 1st today, led by over 50 pins.
When he gets it rolling, he is one tough cookie.
Okay, fortunate not to leave the 4 and the 9. I want to welcome in all of our viewers that are watching right now live. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you share and tell your friends. Give us a like, and all the footage will be archived on YouTube. So Kilts with the spare. He's a local guy, isn't he, Joe?
He's from Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
Yep. He's been, oh boy, 20-year member of the Greater Iowa. Done a lot of bowling over the years. He's got some titles. Very strong. Very strong. Oh.
We just said fortunate not to leave the 4-9 and comes right back and leaves the 4-9.
Tough break there.
Really bad break. Thanks, Elo, for the share. Appreciate that.
Ooh.
So the goal in bowling is to hit the pin and it'll fall over.
Yeah, right.
He hit the pin, it didn't fall over. So now Hess has got a nice opportunity here.
Be interesting to see how he plays this lane this time. If he really found something or that was an accident. I think he found something.
I think he did too.
That was really well executed.
So Tom with strike, spare, strike. Dwayne with 9 spare, 9 spare, 4-9 open. Pretty good shot. Tom going at a Dutch pace now.
think he liked that one when he let her go, judging by his reaction.
So Hess cleaned through 4. We'll see if Dwayne Kilts can start getting his strike shoes on, leaving the 4-pin only on lane 14 last time and the 4-9 on 13. We'll see if he makes a bit of an adjustment. I don't know if he can get a whole lot further left. It looks like he's got plenty of room actually to move.
Yeah,
further to the
Dwayne
left.
probably drifts as far left as any bowler I've ever seen. He really takes a giant step to the left with his third step. So he doesn't really worry about the ball return very much usually.
Yeah, now he makes a bad shot.
Yep.
It's his first, really bad shot here. Pin lead for Hess. So a 4-9 the last time on this lane, now a 2-pin. Just right in that zone where, you throw it into the lane a little bit and, you're going to go high, let it read a little bit.
Right.
And then if you gas it a little bit so you don't leave a 4-9,
my.
you leave a 2-pin, and you just a mental error right there. He's been bowling a lot of games and just gave Tom Hess a Christmas gift a little early here in September.
Yes, he did. He's been bowling very quickly. I think he just got a little over the top with his lack of concentration there. Ooh, almost the 4-9 there.
Hess almost leaves the 4-9. What's first place today, Joe?
$2,700.
$2,700.
Yeah, and there's $690 in the bet you win pot.
Is everybody in that?
Everybody is in that.
And then what is that, a $10 entry?
Yes. Yeah.
And the bet you win carries over from your other events?
Yeah, it carries over if nobody won. It's actually just from the Fusion tournaments.
Okay. So the last time nobody won?
Yeah, somebody won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there money?
Nick Pate won. There's no carryover.
Okay, so 63 players got in the bet you
69,
win.
yeah.
69, got
yep.
it. Okay,
Yep.
690, got it.
Yeah, 69 out of basically 148 or so. Since we had some re-entries, they don't have to pay that twice.
Let's take a look at Hess's last shot. He threw that one really good.
That was a dandy.
Down and through it. He liked it, ran it out. Does his little squat pirouette there, I guess I would call that. Ooh. Oh, no way. That's just not fair.
The guy leaves a 4-9, and then now he
Here it
leaves
is again.
8-10. Wow, that is incredible.
That is incredible. Let's see if he picks it. Oh, I
tried
was
to pop
waiting
up.
for that thing to
Yeah.
bounce out.
Wow. Well, that really. Ooh. Well, I guess the score's right, even though it scored it wrong. The total score is correct.
So 82 in the 6th. Tom Hess has got 119 pace-wise.
37 pins, huh?
Yeah, it's a bunch.
That is.
And Kilts hasn't even bowled that bad of a game.
No, he hasn't.
All right, so Kilts covers it up. Hess is in cruise control.
Yep. Strike here, make it a pretty big mountain.
I think Tom really wants this tournament. I think this would be a good confidence boost for him.
Yeah, he definitely has been putting a lot of pressure on himself recently. And oh, there's that 490 almost left the last time.
My goodness gracious.
I don't know what's going on with that.
This pair is
4
just,
and 8
it's
tens.
just atrocious.
Crazy.
You know you get a challenging pattern when you go up and you leave 4 9s and 8 10s in the same match with guys playing in.
Right.
With what I would call medium rev rates.
Right.
In today's game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tom. One might have been important there, but
Okay, so Hess can max out for 215. And
192.
yeah, 192 left for Dwayne Kilts. So it is a little closer here than what it really appears.
Yes, it is. Now.
Kilts has yet to strike.
Although he has been in the 1-3 pretty consistently.
He has.
Just not very many good breaks.
Tom made his best shot of the match the last time on that lane.
That was a great
Follows
shot,
it up
too.
with another one. Kilt stops to tie a shoe. Notice in the background too, everybody, they got these pinball backlit boards in the background up on the walls, art.
Oh my. Pretty much game over there. That's crazy. Much as he was striking down on this end, on the lower end, now he hasn't had a strike on this pair.
So 168, the best Kilts can do.
Yes, it is.
Hess is going on a 185 pace.
Right. I think Tom just needs a mark somewhere in the last 2 frames there. Unless he really lost a lot of count. Well, that's not going to probably get him one.
6, 7, 10. $13 and $14. It's a brutal pair. I actually bowled Tom with a house ball last night on this pair.
You
I
did.
shot 120, I think.
Ah.
So I know how tough this pair is, Joe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now Dwayne Kilts can get to 168. Tom Hess will need a strike, or I'm sorry, a mark, and 6.
And 6, yes.
Needs to fill 16 pins here for the W. Which I gotta say, he's probably 80% to do that.
Maybe a little better than that, considering his last 2 shots on this lane. He pretty well wired them. Ooh, well, that's probably a mark, although. There's Tom for you.
Yep. Here we go. He's gotta make this.
Yes, he does. And he did.
And you know what? One thing about Tom is he's a very underrated spare shooter. He's a very
good spare shooter.
Very good spare
Yes, he
shooter.
is. Yeah, I crossed with him yesterday, and I know we went back and forth on who was picking up the most spares. So, but I shot a lot more of them than he did.
Right.
He struck a lot.
He was 224 over. Hard and straight down the middle, and that's going to collapse the pins out, and Tom Hess is going to advance to take on Nick Pate, the number 2 seed, as he defeats Dwayne Kilts in what was kind of an ugly match there, Joe.
Yes, it was.
Really ugly. Both guys actually bowled pretty good. They kept the ball on line, battling this oil pattern, but a lot of splits on pocket hits, and that ended up being the difference in the match.
Yeah.
You know, if Kilts just picks that 2-pin, he wins. And then a blower 5-pin, just to leave a little insult there. So congratulations to Dwayne Kilts. He's going to finish in 4th position here at the September event here at the Fusion Realtors here at Maple Lanes. We're going to get the cameras moved, and we'll get ready for our next match. It'll be Nick Pate taking on Tom Hess right here on Inside Bowling. Just like that, we're back. Nick Pate taking on Tom Hess, number 2 seed versus the number 3 seed, which means all the bowling we had before this really means nothing because it worked out that the 2 and the 3 seed are bowling each other. I'm joined by Joe Englekes, tournament director here in the booth. And now we've got to look at Tom Hess. He's going to start and finish the match. Nick Pate had lane choice, and that's what he has decided to do, make Tom start the match. We talked about it earlier, Joe. Nick Pate won the February event. He's looking for the 2018 sweep of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open.
That would be quite a feat when you consider he's beaten fields of 160, 170, 180 bowlers each time. That'd be pretty crazy. But Nick can play. He's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
You know, Nick made a finals before I knew who he was. Probably, I don't know, 6, 7 events ago.
Right.
I can't remember.
Right.
But I said, you know, this Nick Pate kid, he throws it really good, nothing flashy, and he and his family still talk to me about that. So I'm sure they're watching. Nothing flashy. But if you look compared to what he used to wear in these events, now he's sporting, you know, purple and pink. And,
Right.
you know, he's a little flashier now.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough spare on this oil pattern. Nick, he went on. He was Collegiate Player of the Year. I mean, this guy can play.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
A very underrated player, in my opinion. Kind of just flies under the radar.
Right, I would agree with that.
Quiet guy.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet guy, unless he's around his very close friends.
Is that right?
Then he turns into a maniac.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
This is the same ball that he was using at the last Fusion.
Yes, it is.
He played in deep like that.
Yep.
Nick, is that the same ball? Nick, same ball as last Fusion? Yeah, he's waving his head, yes. I normally don't bother the players during the match, but I don't necessarily mind bothering Nick because it probably keeps him loose, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, we did a ball video shoot with him, and every time he would start out talking about the ball, he'd say, Nick Pate here, Nick Pate here. So that's what we call him, Nick Pate here. You know, Hess and Pate from a distance actually look like they have very similar jersey styles, similar colors.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Hess really liked that shot. He is not happy that he did not carry that shot.
That was a pretty large one. He could have taken a big step in the right direction with that double. Now he just needs to make a spare. Nice to see a couple of our Ebonite international bowlers here in this match.
Yeah, Ebonite, title
Yeah,
sponsor of your
right.
tour, including these two events. You got Ebonite and a Columbia 300 guy.
That's correct. Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Rob Gottschall. He has done a really fabulous job of supporting the Greater Iowa since he came on board, uh, with some help from the illustrious Mike Flanagan in pushing him that direction. Although Rob used to bowl some of our events until he became too busy.
Well, I can tell you that every time I'm around Rob and we talk about coming to this event or that I'm coming here, he always says to tell you hello and that he misses bowling these events, and what you guys do up here is fantastic. So Nick Pate's got an interesting thing going on here. He's throwing, just because I know these bowling balls very well, he's throwing a kinetic Emerald on the right lane, and he's throwing an Ultra Heat on the left lane.
Kinetic Ruby, my mistake.
Yeah, that.
Not
No,
the
not
Emerald.
Ruby. No, not the Emerald or the Ruby. It's the
No, it's the other
Amethyst.
one,
The Amethyst. Yeah, that's
it's
what
the
I was-
newer one.
Yeah,
Right.
the Amethyst.
Right.
The one you can't. It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
You can see me and Joe up here, by the way.
Yeah.
I can touch Nick. Wow.
He rolled that one. Oh my goodness.
Let's take a look at it again.
That was a great shot.
He likes playing in there.
You can't tell though. I think he was running that one out before he let it go almost. He liked it.
There's a reason why these guys are second and third through
Yes.
qualifying.
Yes, there is.
These guys are awesome bowlers. They matched up this weekend. They're confident in what they're doing.
Tom's starting to run out of room a little bit on that lane. He was right up against the ball return.
Sometimes it's better to just listen to what's happening on the lanes and listen to what the players are saying.
That is true.
And in that particular case with Hess, he's starting to show some emotion. He's letting what's inside of him start to come out on the outside. So Hess strikes every time on the left lane. Can't strike on the right lane. Made one bad shot in the fourth. Nick Pate made a bad shot on the right lane as well. Throwing two different balls on each lane. Looking for a four-bagger.
Ooh, that's pretty good. A little bit high.
Pretty typical of this oil pattern.
Yep.
You're not going to carry every hit in here.
No, you're not.
And that was another well-placed shot. And now it's anybody's match.
Yeah, this oil pattern actually came from the mind of Mcneil.
Oh, jeez.
So, yes. Yes, it did. he was involved with Rich Amy here, and they came up with it. So.
Nick Pate, that deep inside angle.
I'm surprised he didn't choose to. I guess he did choose to finish on that lane.
Look at this one more time. Yeah, he did finish. He did choose to finish on that lane.
Yeah, he got a really, really good look on that one.
You know, when I think of Nick Pate, I don't think somebody that's playing 6th arrow, 5th arrow.
No.
You know, because of his rev rate.
Right.
But the way he's getting that bowling ball with the touch at the bottom of the swing and his ball speed, he's able to create angle down lane.
Yeah, he's got a great reaction on lane 11 for sure.
You know, nothing flashy, that Nick Pate.
You're not going to change his nickname to Flash?
Nick was standing right next to the booth when we said that.
No white belt.
Yeah, last time he was on the broadcast, he wore a white belt when he made the finals. Yeah, he forgot it on this trip. Just wearing a black one today. Got his shirt untucked. Doesn't want anybody to see. Okay, so Tom Hess still cannot strike on the right lane. He's perfect on the left lane, going at a Dutch 200 pace.
I think he's just struggling to get far enough left on 12 with his feet.
See him getting lined up here. Taking a little extra time. Perfect on that lane.
They both like that lane, don't they?
They really do.
Neither one of them's missed on it.
Here's a look at Tom's shot again. Down and through it.
It appears that whoever can perform on lane 12 is going to be have the advantage for sure in this match. They both have lane 11.
Oh, I thought he was tripping that 4-pin that time.
It looked like a typical 4-pin trip shot.
I thought for sure that one was going down. This one can go either way.
Yeah, that's a tight match. Uh-oh. I thought you pitched that right a little. Got a little surface on that spare ball, though.
These guys that shoot 300 on the left lane, Baker.
No, I don't think there's any doubt. Man.
So, max score for Pate, 238. Hess, 240. He's got to master this lane. He's got to figure this lane out.
Yeah, he needs to figure it out right now because he has a finish on that lane too. So he is way up against that ball return. There, he got it.
Really good shot by Tom.
Very good shot.
Okay. So if Tom strikes here, he controls his own destiny in the 10th frame.
That's correct.
If he doesn't, Nick Pate will have an opportunity to shut out Tom Hess. Max scores again, 238 for Pate, 240 for Tom Hess. Hess got his first strike for a double on the right lane. Pate the last 2 times on the right lane, 4-pin, 4-pin. Do you like it?
Looked like it was just a touch tight, but that lane's been holding down lane pretty well for him.
So he finally figures out the right lane, gets a strike, goes over the left lane, leaves a 9-pin. Important for him to make the spare, like the great spare shooter that he is.
Yep.
And he does. So possible 219. And Nick Pate's going at a 208 pace. If Nick Pate does not strike on this ball, Tom Hess can still win because it would be a max score of 218 for Pate.
Right.
Hess still has 219 left.
Right.
If Nick Pate does anything but strike here. If he strikes here, he's in good shape. Messenger comes across. So he goes 4-pin, 4-pin, 10-pin the last 3 shots on that lane. Really nice ball reaction. Really good shots and cannot string strikes.
Not much luck there. At least not much good luck. Wow.
It all comes down to the open frame in the first.
Yep. Well,
Nick covers the spare. So we got ourselves one of the old-fashioned matches you used to root for on Saturday afternoons. One of those matches where a guy can strike out and force the other guy to strike out on his bad lane.
yeah. What was it they used to say? We have the possibility of a tie.
Of a tie, yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be the second frame, and both players would have like doubled, and Bo would say, "Oh, we've got a possibility of a tie, partner." He loved the tie
did
drama.
like that.
He loved drama.
Yes, he did.
We got a chance for some here. Deep inside.
Ooh, he tore it rack up.
Did you see that 5-pin paralyzer? Let's look at this again. Get the replay going here.
Pretty
Look
wild.
at this. Look at this shot. Look at this. He's begging for it. Yeah, and he gives it. Did you see what he did with the elbow? Just a little lawnmower start there.
Yep. Pulled the 5 right out from under.
You know, this Nick Pate guy, nothing flashy.
Yeah.
163 entries for this event. We're down to 3 bowlers. Glad you're with us on this Sunday afternoon. You know, you have many choices on what to watch. We appreciate you choosing to tune in with us here on the interwebs.
This is a huge shot right here. He can force Tom to have to double.
And he does.
Nailed it.
He doubles in the 10th frame. So he can strike out. This is important to get this one, too.
Yes, it is.
This is just important as the other 2.
It is, because count's huge here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He can make Tom get all 3 of them if he strikes here.
I feel like I'm watching like Del Ballard versus Norm Duke right now.
Yeah.
This is great. I love seeing the shot making. This is a really hard pattern, everybody. This is difficult to do.
Yes, it is.
And he does it. 218.
No doubter.
218 for Nick Pate. So scoreboard tells the story. Tom Hess can strike out for 219. Nick Pate had lane choice. He established that he wanted to finish on the left lane.
Obviously a good choice.
But Hess figured this lane out the last time he was over there.
Yes,
so
he did. So
here we go.
Oh,
crumbler.
That crumbler.
The bucket crumbler. All right. All right. What did I just do? Did I throw a replay up there or something? All right, here we go. I got it. Needs a strike here for a chance to advance. See how close he is up to the ball return there, right up against it. Push. Hess doubles in the 10th frame. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. So here we go. As you say, Joe, we got that possibility sitting out there.
Possibility of a tie.
I got to tell you, if I was Nick Pate and I threw 3 strikes in the 10th frame, I thought I was money.
I would have felt pretty
On this
confident.
oil pattern, with my guy on the tough lane,
Yep.
if Hess throws a strike here, he has certainly earned
it.
the chance to
Definitely.
bowl for the title.
It's pretty awesome to see him get 3 in a row now on that lane. It was tough for both of them. Oh, I would
Tom
say
Hess
so.
strikes out in
Wow.
the 10th frame. Nick Pate forces him to throw all 3 in the 10th frame. 219 to 218, and arguably the greatest match I've ever called in Fusion Realtors history.
I would agree. That was pretty awesome bowling by both ends.
What a tremendous match.
Dug deep. They both struck out in the 10th, and Tom pulled it out by a stick.
Wow. I don't know how we're going to top that here in the final,
Oh.
but we're going to try.
Yep, we will.
We'll be right back here on Inside Bowling with the championship match coming right up. Okay, we're set for the championship match here, Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by Joe Englekes, tournament director here in the booth. We have Tom Hess taking on Shea Bittenbender here in the final. We move lanes after every single game here, 9 and 10, the championship pair. We've been using it for a while, Joe.
Yes, we. I see how you are. Shut me out.
Yeah.
No,
Just a few moving parts here.
Right. No, I think every championship match has been on this pair from day one. Every time you've been here, anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Get a look at Shea Bittenbender. He's from the St. Louis area, St. Charles, Missouri. This is one of the guys out there that I feel like I know pretty well, that if he would ever try or would have tried to go out and bowl competitively at the highest level in this game, the percentage of him being able to have success is much higher than many people that I know that have gone out and tried. I think this guy's got a trick roll to the way that he throws the ball. He's had some collegiate competition under his belt, national championship, and it's just a good bowler.
And I totally agree. I know we have a GIBA doubles tournament every year, and he's bowled with Pete Weber 2 years in a row. They weren't able to come up last year, but they won it back-to-back years, and I was fortunate enough to cross with them with my son as my doubles partner, and Shea, I think, kept right up with Pete. They were back and forth as far as, and we used two different patterns, a long pattern, a short pattern on a pair of lanes, and they put on a show, and that was my first real close-up look at how Shea bowls, and boy, he can play. He can play. Like you say, kind of a trick roll. His carry percentage is really high. If he can get it on the 1-3 pocket, he's pretty darn solid. So.
Yeah, he's got an interesting loft to his game.
Yes.
The way that he lofts and carries the ball through the release.
Right.
Well, we've got a heck of a championship match here shaping up. We got 2 strikes apiece for both players, and Tom Hess is looking to win this tournament for the second time and join Casey Murphy in that elite group.
That is correct. Yeah, Tom got pretty emotional following the win the first time that he won this one. He said it was a tournament that he had wanted to add to his resume for a long time. So.
A little bit of a difference in demeanor in this match with Tom. He's actually talking to Shea. They're kind of jovial with each other. They're enjoying, a little bit of respect for one another here.
Yeah.
Not quite as serious.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy, Flush City.
I know Shea's got a lot of friends and family back home watching in the St. Louis area, as well as potentially even some people from back home up east. In all the events that I've called action on with Inside Bowling and being from the St. Louis area, I don't really remember, other than some holiday doubles work, where I've called a final with Shea in it. So this is kind of a treat for me as well.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, he's a really great guy. I always appreciate it. He actually is. He and Tim were the ones that started coming up here and started bringing some players from down that area up here too, and we do our best to treat them right, because they do support us pretty well down that area.
Yeah, about 5.5 hours to get up here. 5 hours if you go a little over the speed limit.
Yeah, probably.
So we got 7 for 7, these two guys. There's a reason why they are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right there
in the final.
Yeah, Tom's looks to me like it's pretty close now to where he played the last couple games in qualifying with the same ball. So, and he was pretty good shape. Oh, they both have a great look right now.
They do. I think they just put out an all alerts bulletin. If anybody wants to bowl doubles against them right now on lanes 9 and 10, they'll bowl for any amount of money you like.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
We just had an awesome semifinal match. Glad you're with us here watching on Inside Bowling. Looking forward to seeing how this one shakes out so far. Both players are perfect through 4. I was kidding around before the match and said, hey, you're going to have to top the last match.
Yeah.
290, 289. How's that sound? Well, we might even get something better than that.
Yeah, it could very well be. Oh, you almost tripped a 4.
You know you got a good ball reaction when you're that far in and you still had a chance to strike.
Right. Yeah, that pushed a lot further down the lane than I thought it was going to when he let it go.
Well, it's a pearlized ball.
Right. It's a rolly pearlized ball. I really like mine. I've got one of them. Oh, no, he missed it. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
We were just talking about what a great spare shooter Tom is.
Yeah, you did something yesterday in qualifying I haven't seen in a long time. He took a 4 straight back off the 7.
Really?
Yes. He, the double take he gave was something to behold.
Shea just keeps striking.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at that shot again.
that was solid city there. Tom gave him a little opening, and he slammed the door right in his face.
Shea came in today in 12th position and went to the lead with about 3 games to go, I believe it was. And then he just kind of ran away there, 55 pins ahead of the field.
Yeah, I don't know what he shot for games, but he must have bowled really, really well.
Oh.
Wow.
Almost an 8-10.
Wow.
A little chuckle there.
Wow. I'll check and see if he picked my ball up by mistake there. So.
I'm sure. I'm sure that his friends at home watching are going to give him some trouble about this the league this week. So you almost leave that 8-10 there, partner. All right, so both players have missed twice, but the open frame, will it come back to bite Tom Hess? We will see.
Ooh.
Tom says he saved an open. I'm not sure if Tom realizes this or not, but that was a break.
A good break.
That was a good break in your favor.
Yeah.
To everybody that's watching at home, this is not an easy oil pattern. I just want everybody to know that. I want everybody to know how hard these lanes are.
Yeah, right. We did not put the house shot up for this match, I guarantee you. This is incredible. I can't believe they're striking this much.
No problem for Shea. I don't know how he was only in 12th position coming into today after yesterday, because this morning he just had a look that like nobody else had.
Right. I don't know why he didn't score better yesterday.
And the man has sat here for 2 hours and 55 minutes waiting to bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh. Little inside of target, a little gassed. Didn't have time to read the friction.
Yeah, it looked like he might have just had a little extra speed on that one. Definitely was a little inside.
Still hit the 1-3 though. It still counts as a pocket hit. Important spare. Covers it with no problem. I guess I should have switched the camera. Sorry, folks. But he covered it perfectly. Right side of it. Wasn't even close.
Yep. Well, now Tom has the ability to strike out and win the match. He can get to 267, and 259 is the max for Shea.
You know, this just might be Hess's day with throwing that triple against Pate.
Yeah.
I really thought he was done. I thought he was done when Pate threw the triple.
Yeah, I asked Nick, and he said he was fairly confident going into that 10th frame after he struck out that he was going to move on. And he was considering there'd only been 2 strikes on that lead prior to the 10th frame, and And Tom did come through and perform in the clutch there. Nick was pretty surprised. Well, that was pure.
So now he's really upset about the spare.
Yeah, well, that's Tom.
Well, because he knows that he wouldn't have to work as hard in the 10th frame.
That is true.
Possible 259 for Bittenbender up in the 9th. Like it like it's nothing.
Yeah. Just step up. And here you go. I'll just load one up.
These guys are bowling really good.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, the only one that was really close to a miss was that little bucket leave that was only off by a half a border probably or so from a lower out strike there. Crazy.
Hook.
Oh, he grabbed a handful of that one.
He needed a good shot on that lane too. He's been waiting for another good shot on that lane. Big shot there.
He grabbed a handful of that one.
I want to thank everybody for watching our finals and watching all weekend here on Inside Bowling. We were streaming on Facebook because of YouTube tech issues. YouTube was down throughout the country, I found out yesterday. But we will have all of this footage archived on YouTube later this week. So if you're enjoying it, you want to go back and rewatch it, you can do that over on YouTube. Ooh, wrapped in. Wrapped in for Shea.
Yeah. Tom just gonna need the first one now.
Be 248. Excellent bowled game. 248 in the final.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, that doesn't really matter. Tom's got to have the first strike to win.
Yep. Tom Hess goes up in the 10th frame and delivers a strike. He will win and be our second two-time champion and join Casey Murphy as that. If he does not, Shea Bittenbender will have led this tournament, made a charge today, bowled one match, and got the win. We will see what happens right here. Tom right up against that ball return again. His opponent's making him finish on the right-hand lane. In both matches he's bowled.
Oh, my.
And right there, that's going to do it. Tom Hess is going to be your champion here at Maple Lanes. It's going to be his second time that he's won the Fusion Realtors Open. Right here in his backyard. And Shea went right over to him and said, "You did it, man."
I tell you what, he earned both of those because come up clutch in the 10th frame to pull them out.
I got to say that he sat with me all weekend, and I mean, he just showed up in these last two matches and just did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's a incredible performance. What a last two matches. That's just crazy.
Another strike from Hess. I think it's fair to say that this is a league bowler game. You know, you got the 4 strikes, you got the single pin miss,
right.
and then all those strikes up there behind it. This is the league bowler.
Yeah.
This is league bowler Tom Hess. You know, missing that single pin.
Yeah.
Bowling on a house shot.
Yeah.
He hears me now. I can talk to him now because he's already won.
Yeah.
All smiles from Thess.
Yeah. Yes, they are. That was an incredible match.
Awesome performance by these last 3 competitors. I gotta say, that's awesome. That's some of the best bowling we've ever seen here at the Fusion. Congratulations to Shea Bittenbender too. He bowled awesome. I mean, he bowled awesome this weekend. Really great bowling by Shea. Congratulations to Tom. He's a 2-time champion here in Iowa. This is a big one for him. He likes it. So when we come back, Joe, I want to thank you for the time. Thank you for having us, of course. But when we come back on here, we'll have Tom up here in the booth, and I'll ask him some questions about this win. Well, I'm joined here by Tom Hess, and people are going to start thinking that this is rigged because you've been in the booth the entire weekend, and you end the weekend here in the booth. Dude, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I know I wasn't here to stream when you won the other event.
Yeah.
It was cool to be able to stream it, but some are given, some are earned. This may be the best earned title I've ever streamed before.
I don't know what to say. These are hard. The game we just bowled right there on this pair. Obviously, 9 and 10 is a little bit easier than 11 and 12. But the right lane on 11 and 12, so lane 12, it's like bowling the U.S. Open. That was unbelievable. When Nick made me finish over there, and then he stepped up and when he threw the first one, I had to match.
Right.
Whatever he did, so he throws the first one, now I got to throw the first one.
Yeah.
He throws the second one, now I got the second one, he throws the third.
Did you think in your mind that you could throw all 3 strikes in the right lane? I mean, obviously you're confident in yourself.
I think I could strike every shot.
Right.
But on that lane, no. All I said was you got to let it go. You have to give it a chance. 2 times on that lane, it had no chance. The first shot on that lane was pretty good, rung a 10. Second shot, tried to make it strike, 3-6.
Yeah.
Third shot, you can't make it strike,
right.
So you float it out there, 2-5. Finally let it go in the 8th, struck, and then come over on the lane I'm striking on, of course, go a little high, 9-pin, can't trip it.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do want to, I heard, obviously I was staying right there, my attitude it made it sound to me like you think that I didn't respect Nick.
Yeah, no.
Love Nick.
Yeah.
Okay. Realized that I've got to relax. I was so high strung. I want to win so bad.
Yeah, you were very, very.
All morning. You could see it in the 6 games this morning.
Yeah.
Had a 50-pin lead over the field. Struggled. Almost felt I gave it away. You don't think that you're going to run the stepladder. You know what I mean? I beat 4 pretty good players there.
Right.
And was hoping, all day yesterday, I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to come in tomorrow. I'm going to bowl 1 match for the title.
Yeah, you said that yesterday. Yeah.
And the 3 shots against Nick were huge. Made me relax. Made me feel that I could do it. This isn't the PBA tour, but you've been with me on the tour, and you know the struggles I'm having out there.
Yeah.
And I just beat a PBA player. Nick is a PBA player.
Yes,
Nick's going to win out there.
Yep.
Nick's good.
Yep.
Shea could if he wanted to. He's got a great job, so he doesn't.
Right.
Big win. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man. It was awesome. It was totally awesome. I did not believe that the scores that we would have in that championship match would be.
After what was the match
with Dwayne and I? 173, I think I shot to win that match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome performance.
Thank you.
I know you've got all kinds of stuff all over your shirt. Who do you want to thank?
Well, first of all, I want to thank my wife, my kids. She's been texting me. She's been watching at home. Everybody, a couple people send pictures and stuff. From friends from Indianapolis, the Archulettas are watching. I'm sure Jerry Graves, Russ Cruz. I'm sure I've been in the chat a little bit because somebody said I punched the ball return. I didn't punch the ball return. I hit my ball. I guess if somebody wants to consider that punching the ball return,
Okay. All right.
So my wife sent me a text message. I heard you punched the ball return. I didn't punch the ball return. I smacked my spare ball.
Okay.
But now for my sponsors, Ebonite, obviously.
Yeah.
They're sticking behind me. I've been with them for 3 years now. This Logo Infusion, Vice, the guys at Bowlers Connection that drill all my stuff. You for coming out and letting everybody at home watch.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Joe, there's too many people. You put somebody on the spot. There's so many people to thank.
Right.
The Englekeses. These tournaments, I've been bowling these things for 30 years. These are what bred me. These are the Greater Iowas are what made me. Anytime you win one of these, it's special to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you and Casey Murphy have won 2 of them now.
Look at the people that have won this. You don't sneak into this.
Yeah.
You earn these. So, and that one was really earned.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was fun to watch. One of the best matches I've ever called here.
Yep.
My friend, I'm going to take us off the air now. Congratulations. We'll be back in February for the Fusion Reelers. It'll be at Cadillac Lanes. Hopefully Tom will be able to bowl that one. It is right in the middle of the tour season, so we'll see how that one goes. But we do have the holiday doubles coming up in December. Want to make sure you tune in for that, so make sure you stay tuned to our YouTube channel for all
I'll be
of
there
that.
for that. Bowling with Andy Stone.
Yeah, who bowled this event as well.
Yep,
So
yep.
I want to thank everybody for watching this weekend. Thanks for
I do too.
Thanks for a little bit of technical difficulties we had with streaming. We're on Facebook today, so we will see you on the next one, everybody. And thanks again for tuning in, and congratulations again to Tom Hess on the victory.
Mike, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. We try to make it fun.
Thanks. We'll see you later.
Have a good day, everybody.